welcome back. I am happy to welcome you to the second day of our workshop and conference. Before I start with the introduction of the second panel this morning, I want to shortly inform you about the little change of program we had to do yesterday, because one of the films it was not able to project the film in the best quality, so we changed the program. We were seeing the films from Andreas Valentin yesterday and also from Marcos Bonison. So today we have first the panel 2, then we have the lunch break of 1 hour, and then we right away continue with the third and last panel and have coffee break in between, and then we have we will look at the film from César Oiticica Filho, and then closing remarks by Gregor Stemrich. So in the second panel this morning we want to focus on 2 key examples on the question what role the handling of documentary material from Brazil and Europe plays, and what consequences an exchange of such material between researchers and curators can have. It continues very well questions on the viewpoints as we have discussed them yesterday. As works of art and historical circumstances, also source materials have to be contextualized, and they undergo an interpretation as they have to be contextualized. In our 2 papers presented in this panel, we have examples how such handling can look like. So I want to introduce our 3 speakers. Lena Scheffler has studied art history and European ethnology in Würzburg and is currently finalizing her master thesis at the Free University. She was awarded a DAAD scholarship with which she was able to conduct research in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro in 2014, and where she also worked at the Instituto Moreira Salles, Fundação Armando Alvarez Banteado, and the Museu de Imagens do Inconsciente. Lena is also currently working as a researcher for the German National Museum in Nuremberg at the moment. Her paper, Art by People Suffering from Mental Illness in Brazil, a case study, will introduce us to a series of photographs of Alice Brill and investigate this series under different viewpoints, especially questioning their value as documents within a social and artistic context for art historical research. Then Miriam Minak studied art history at Freie Universität Berlin and Universidade de São Paulo, and finished her bachelor thesis on Elio Oiticica's Tropicalia installation in the context of Nova Objetividade movement in Brazil in 2011. She was a student assistant in the international research group InterArt at FU Berlin, and an assistant in the cultural department of the Goethe Institute in Porto Alegre, Brazil. Miriam is currently enrolled in the MA program Art History in Global Context at the Free University, and is working on a master thesis on Kurt Schritter's influence on the work of Elio Oiticica. In her paper today, entitled Breaking the Frame, Documents Travel from Schwitters to Oiticica, Miriam will shed light to the emergence of Schwitters in papers that were published in Brazil. She analyzes its theoretical context and links Schwitters' Metzbau to Oiticica's environmental work. Our moderator of this panel is Sabit Buchmann. Very welcome to Sabit. She is an art historian and art critic. She is currently professor of modern and postmodern art and the head of Institute for Art Theory and Cultural Studies at the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. She regularly contributes to books, magazines, and catalogs, and is a board member of the journal Text zur Kunst and the book series Polypen. Her publications include Art After Conceptual Art, 2006, Denken gegen das Denken, Produktion, Technologie, Subjektivität by Sol Luit, Helio Oiticica and Yvonne Reiner, 2007, and Film, Avant-Garde and Biopolitik, 2009. Together with Max Jorge Cruz, Sabet published Elio Oiticica and Nabil Almeida Cosmococas with After All Press in 2013. In this book, the two authors consider the influence the New York underground scene and Brazilian avant-garde cinema, as well as concrete poetry and the writings of Marshall McLuhan, Henry Bergson, and others had on Cosmococas. For the authors, the work forms the basis for an extensive investigation of media theory in art through analysis of its experimentation with duration and its blurring of formats, languages, and modes of spectatorship. So thank you, and we start.